How to use the inductive amp clamp with the Fluke 88V digital multimeter. I'd like to show you how I'm going to use this inductive amp clamp with my meter instead of tapping in series. And it's pretty accurate. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the meter off. And we're going to measure this on the millivolt range. And we'll also turn the amp clamp off for the time being. Now, what I want to do is this is going to bounce around a lot. It's going to be super sensitive. So I'm going to put it on millivolts, but I'm also going to put it on the smooth feature. Now, what smooth does is it will sample more samples within 1 second, and it'll sample longer than 1 second to average it out, as well as it'll remove some of the high frequency to give it a more stable reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my range button down, and then I'm going to turn on to millivolts, which will do the S there that says for smooth. And we know it's on smooth because we've got that little symbol right there. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this on the first setting right there on the 20 milliamps. Now you have to convert this because this is going to read 100 millivolts equals an amp. So we're on the volt scale. Notice we're on the volts and we're on the millivolts, and this is a 0 button, so I'm going to push 0. However, these things are super sensitive as you move them around. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully put this on my positive lead right there in the correct direction. I'm going to set it down gently. And if you remember before, we were getting somewhere around 35, 40 milliamps, and I can see that this is off already. But this is reading 2.9, but the way you do this is you take that decimal, move it over to here, and that will mean 28 or 29 milliamps. So that's pretty close to what we had. It's off about 10 milliamps. We're going to leave it just like that for the time being. I could get picky, but you notice every time I move this around, it's going to jump. So I can see if I can get this. We're getting really close here. So what I want to do is let's go ahead and put it on min-max. And then let's go ahead and push it on maximum so that we note when that, there it goes right there. And now you can see, let's stop and reset that so we know when it's going to come in again. So now if we move this decimal place over 1, that's telling me that's 157 milliamps, which is somewhat close to the 169 we were getting a few minutes ago. Now I can try to make that a little bit more accurate. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off min-max for the time being. Let's come on over and gently take this off of here. And let's try pushing the 0 button again. And carefully put that back on there. And let's set it down because they're very sensitive. And you can see that I still don't have a super accurate. So I like the in-series portion because this can be inaccurate. But if you're looking for a quick way to check this, this is how this is going to take place. So if you're not super worried about 10 to 15 milliamps, the inductive clamp will work for you. If you're really looking for that accuracy, you're going to have to go in series with this. But that's one way that we can move that. And if you notice when I disconnect it, it'll tell me, hey, I'm off. We look over here, move that over. That's roughly 30 milliamps. It's actually at a negative 30 milliamps. So add 30 milliamps to whatever reading you have, push the 0 button. See if it comes down closer to 0. It does, but watch as I move this around. Just moving it around like this makes it jump around a bit. So that's pretty cool, the way we can use min-max, we can use high res, we can use smooth feature to help stabilize this off a little bit. So smooth may or may not bend to my advantage when using that amp clamp, but it's always worth giving it a try.